Hey momentum builders, welcome back. So let me tell you about the moment I realized I was sabotaging my own wealth. I just made $4,000 from a big freelance project. $4,000. That was huge for me at the time, and you know what I did? Within 2 weeks, I'd spent almost all of it on random stuff I didn't even need. New tech gadgets, expensive dinners, things I can't even remember now. And I remember sitting there looking at my bank account thinking, what is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this? I wasn't dumb. I knew I should save that money. I knew I should invest it. But something inside me just was like I was programmed to get rid of money as soon as I got it. And that's when I started digging into money psychology, the subconscious beliefs and behaviors that control how we handle money. And what I discovered completely changed my relationship with wealth. Because here's the truth that nobody talks about. Your biggest financial enemy isn't the economy. It's not your salary. It's not bad luck. It's your own mind. It's the stories you've been telling yourself about money since you were a kid. Stories you don't even realize you believe. And until you identify those stories and rewire them, you're gonna keep sabotaging yourself. You're going to keep staying stuck no matter how much money you make. So today, we're going deep. We're talking about the hidden psychology that's keeping you from building wealth, the self-sabotaging behaviors you might not even realize you have, and most importantly, how to rewire your brain so you can actually build and keep wealth. This is the conversation that changed everything for me. Let's get into it. The money scripts we inherit. Alright, so let's start with where this all begins. Your money psychology wasn't created by you, it was inherited. Think about it. When you were a kid, what did you hear about money? What did you see? Maybe you heard things like money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that, or rich people are greedy. Maybe you saw your parents fighting about money. Maybe you watched them stress about bills every month. Or maybe the opposite. Maybe money was never discussed. Maybe it was this taboo subject that nobody talked about. Maybe your parents just handled everything and you never learned how money actually works. All of those experiences created what psychologists call money scripts. These are subconscious beliefs about money that you absorbed without even realizing it. And these scripts are running in the background of your mind right now, controlling every financial decision you make. Here's what's crazy. Most people have no idea what their money scripts are. They just know they feel anxious about money, or guilty about spending, or like they'll never have enough no matter how much they make. Let me share some of the most common money scripts that sabotage wealth, and I want you to see if any of these resonate with you. Money script number 1. Money is the root of all evil, or some version of rich people are bad. If you believe somewhere deep down that having money makes you a bad person, guess what? You're never gonna let yourself become wealthy. Your subconscious will sabotage you every time you start making progress because it thinks it's protecting you from becoming a bad person. Money script number 2. I don't deserve to be wealthy. This one is huge. Maybe you grew up in a family that struggled financially and you feel guilty about doing better than them. Maybe you made mistakes in the past and you're punishing yourself. Maybe you just internalized somewhere along the way that people like you don't get to be wealthy. Whatever the reason, if you don't believe you deserve wealth, you won't keep it. Money script number 3. Money will solve all my problems. This is the flip side. This is believing that money is the answer to everything. And when you believe that, you end up chasing money in unhealthy ways. You sacrifice your health, your relationships, your happiness, thinking that once you have enough money, everything will be perfect. But it never is. And then you feel empty even when you have money. No matter how much money you have, you're always anxious about losing it. You can't enjoy what you have because you're constantly worried it's going to disappear. So you hoard it. You stress about every purchase. You can't be generous because you're operating from fear. Money script number 5. I'm just not good with money. This one is insidious because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you're bad with money, you won't try to learn about it. You won't read books. You won't invest. You won't invest. You won't build wealth because that's not who you are, right? Do any of these sound familiar? Be honest with yourself. Because here's the thing, these scripts are invisible until you shine a light on them. But once you see them, you can change them, the self-sabotage patterns. Alright, so let's talk about how these money scripts actually show up as self-sabotaging behaviors. Self-sabotage pattern number 1, the spending cycle. This is what I was doing. You make money, then you immediately spend it. Sometimes on things you need, sometimes on things you don't. But either way, you can't seem to keep money. And here's what's happening psychologically. If you have a subconscious belief that you don't deserve wealth or that having money is dangerous somehow, your brain will find ways to get rid of it. Spending gives you temporary relief from the discomfort of having money. I know that sounds weird, but it's real. Some people are literally more comfortable being broke than having money in the bank. Self-sabotage pattern number 2. Analysis paralysis. This is when you get so overwhelmed by financial decisions that you just don't make any. You know you should invest, but you can't decide which stocks to buy, so you don't buy any. You know you should start a side hustle, but you can't figure out which one, so you don't start any. And underneath this, usually it's fear of making the wrong decision. Fear of losing money. Fear of failing. So you protect yourself by not trying. But not making a decision is still making a decision. It's deciding to stay where you are. Self-sabotage pattern number 3. The self-worth income ceiling. This is when you have an invisible income ceiling that you can't seem to break through. You make it to a certain level, then something always happens. You lose a client. You get laid off. You make a bad investment. And here's what's really happening. You have a subconscious belief about how much you're worth. Maybe it's based on what your parents made. Maybe it's based on what people in your community make. But when you start making more than that ceiling, your subconscious gets uncomfortable and sabotages you back down. Self-sabotage pattern number 4. Avoiding money conversations. You don't look at your bank account. You don't open bills. You avoid thinking about money at all. You know you should budget or track your spending, but you just says. This is usually rooted in shame or anxiety. Looking at your money situation feels too painful, so you avoid it. But avoidance doesn't make the problem go away, it makes it worse. Self-sabotage pattern number 5. The imposter syndrome wealth block. You do make money, but you can't enjoy it. You feel like a fraud. You feel like you don't actually deserve what you've earned. You wait for someone to find out you're not really qualified or talented or worthy. So you downplay your success. You undercharge for your services. You don't invest in yourself because you don't feel valuable enough. These patterns, they're all rooted in those money scripts we talked about. And they all keep you stuck in the same financial place year after year. But here's the good news. Once you see these patterns, you can break them. The awareness exercise. Okay, so before we get into how to rewire these beliefs, we need to do some awareness work, because you can't change what you can't see. I want you to grab a piece of paper or open up a notes app on your phone. We're gonna do a quick exercise right now. First question. What did your parents teach you about money? Not just what they said, but what they modeled. How did they handle money? What did you observe? Write down whatever comes to mind. Don't filter it, just write. Second question. What's your earliest memory related to money? Maybe it's getting an allowance. Maybe it's being told you can't have something. Maybe it's overhearing your parents fight about bills. What is it? Third question. Complete the sentence. Money is a. Just write the first thing that comes to mind. Don't overthink it. Money is what? Fourth question. Complete the sentence. Rich people again. First thing that comes to mind. Fifth question. Complete the sentence. I can't build wealth because the story you tell yourself. Now look at what you wrote. Really look at it. These are your money scripts. These are the beliefs running in the background. And I'm willing to bet that some of them are holding you back. Some of them are creating the self-sabotage patterns we talked about. The first step to changing your money psychology is seeing it clearly. So take a moment and really sit with what you wrote. The reframe. Rewiring your money psychology. Alright, now comes the powerful part. Now we rewire. For every limiting belief, every negative money script, there's a more empowering truth you can choose to believe instead. And when you consciously choose new beliefs and reinforce them consistently, your brain actually rewires. This is neuroplasticity. This is real science. Let me walk you through the most powerful reframes that change my money psychology. Old belief. Money is the root of all evil, or rich people are greedy. New belief. Money is a tool. It amplifies who you already are. If you're a good person, money allows you to do more good. Money in the hands of good people creates positive change in the world. I had to really sit with this one, because I realized I'd been holding on to this belief that wanting wealth made me shallow or materialistic. But then I reframed it. What could I do with wealth? I could help my family. I could create opportunities for others. Money isn't good or evil. It's neutral. I'm the one who decides what to do with it. Old belief. I don't deserve to be wealthy. I am worthy of wealth simply because I exist. My worthiness isn't tied to my past mistakes, my background, or what others have achieved. I deserve abundance, and me having wealth doesn't take anything away from anyone else. This one was hard for me. I had to do a lot of inner work around self-worth, but here's what helped. I started treating myself the way I'd treat someone I loved. Would I tell someone I care about that they don't deserve financial security? No. So why was I telling myself that? Old belief. Money will solve all my problems, or I'll be happy when I'm rich. New belief. Money is important, but it's not everything. True wealth includes my health, my relationships, my peace of mind, and my sense of purpose. I can be happy and fulfilled now while building wealth for the future. This reframe helped me stop chasing money in unhealthy ways. I started focusing on building a rich life, not just a rich bank account. And ironically, when I did that, money started flowing more easily. Old belief, there's never enough. New belief, there is enough money, enough opportunity, enough success for everyone, including me. When I operate from abundance instead of scarcity, I make better decisions and attract more wealth. This one took practice. Every time I caught myself thinking scarcity thoughts like I can't afford that or there's not enough, I'd pause and reframe. How can I afford that? What opportunities are available to me? Asking better questions led to better answers. Old belief, I'm just not good with money. New belief, I am learning to manage money well. Financial literacy is a skill and I can develop that skill. Every day I'm getting better at understanding and managing my wealth. I had to stop identifying as someone who's bad with money and start identifying as someone who's learning. It's a process, not a permanent state. The practical rewiring techniques. Okay, so knowing these reframes is one thing. But how do you actually rewire your brain? How do you replace the old scripts with the new ones? Here are the techniques that worked for me. Technique number 1, daily affirmations. I know this sounds cheesy. I thought it was woo-woo at first too, but it works. Every morning, I spend 2 minutes saying my new money beliefs out loud. I am worthy of wealth. Money flows to me easily. I make smart financial decisions. At first, it felt fake, but over time, these statements started to feel true because I was literally reprogramming my subconscious mind. Technique number 2, evidence journaling. Every time you make a good financial decision, write it down. Every time money comes to you unexpectedly, write it down. You're building evidence for your new beliefs. Our brains naturally focus on the negative, so you have to intentionally focus on the positive. When you have a journal full of evidence that you are good with money, that money does come to you, that you do make smart decisions, it's hard to believe the old stories anymore. Money meditation and visualization. 5 minutes a day, sit quietly, close your eyes. Visualize your life with wealth. Not just the numbers in your bank account, but how it feels. The security, the freedom, the peace, the ability to be generous. Feel those feelings now, because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you feel those feelings regularly, you start making decisions from that state instead of from fear or scarcity. Technique number 4, surround yourself with new models. If everyone around you has a scarcity mindset, it's really hard to develop an abundance mindset. Find people who have a healthy relationship with money. Read books by them, listen to podcasts, watch videos, join communities. Your environment shapes your psychology more than you realize. Change your environment, change your beliefs. Technique number 5, therapy or coaching. Real talk. If you have deep money trauma or really limiting beliefs, sometimes you need professional help to work through it. There's no shame in that. I worked with a financial therapist for a few months, and it was one of the best investments I ever made. Money psychology is real psychology. Treat it seriously. The transformation. Let me tell you what happened when I started doing this work. First, I stopped sabotaging myself. When I made money, I didn't immediately spend it. I actually started keeping money. My savings grew. My investments grew. Because I believed I deserved to have wealth. Second, my income increased. Not because I was working harder, but because I was making better decisions and taking advantage of opportunities I would have been too scared to take before. Third, my relationship with money became peaceful. I stopped stressing about it constantly. I stopped feeling guilty about spending. I stopped feeling anxious about not having enough. I started enjoying the process of building wealth instead of just white-knuckling through it. And fourth, I became more generous. When you operate from abundance instead of scarcity, you can actually give. You can help others. And that feels amazing. This work changed my entire life. Not just my finances, but my confidence, my relationships, my peace of mind, everything. Because money isn't just about money. It's about how you see yourself and your place in the world. Your money psychology action plan. Alright, so let's bring this home with an action plan you can start today. Step 1. Do the awareness exercise we talked about. Identify your money scripts. Write them down. Look at them honestly. Step 2. For each limiting belief, write a new empowering belief. This is your reframe. Step 3. Choose one rewiring technique and commit to it for 30 days. Maybe it's daily affirmations. Maybe it's evidence journaling. Just pick one and do it consistently. Step 4. Notice your self-sabotage patterns and interrupt them. When you catch yourself about to make a decision based on old beliefs, Pause. Ask yourself, is this coming from my old money scripts or my new beliefs? Step 5. Be patient with yourself. Rewiring your psychology takes time. You've been carrying these beliefs for years, maybe decades. They won't change overnight, but with consistent work, they will change. This is deep work. This is important work. And honestly, this work is more important than any budgeting technique or investment strategy because your psychology determines how you use those tools. Fix your psychology and everything else gets easier. Outro. So there it is. The money psychology that's been sabotaging your wealth and how to finally rewire it. This is the work that nobody talks about. Everyone wants to give you tips and hacks and strategies. But if your psychology is broken, none of that matters. So I want to ask you, what money script did you realize you've been carrying? What belief has been holding you back? Drop it in the comments and share. Sometimes just saying it out loud is the first step to changing it. And if this video resonated with you, if you felt something shift, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to Momentum Money. We drop new videos every Friday that go deeper than just surface level money advice. We talk about the real stuff that actually creates lasting change. Remember, your relationship with money is the most important financial factor in your life. Change that relationship and you change everything. Now, go do that awareness exercise. Build the psychology of wealth. I'll see you in the next one. Let's build this momentum together. This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research and consult with professionals before making financial decisions.